Nice. That's the other book in this genre that gets talked about.
Everyone talks about it. I haven't read it
Talked.
Jara talking? Look who's talking to. House of Leaves. Haven't read. What is it about?
So I've only read about the book and I haven't gotten to reading it. It's an epic horror book and it's basically in small. It's like an annotated textbook. And there are footnotes to footnotes to footnotes.
Nice.
And it's just, I mean, there is like one narration, one story plot line that you're following, but you don't know what you're following till you're way deep into it. That's the impression I get. So, and also it's broken, right? Like you'll find one page of text and then one artwork. And you're like, hey, kya ho gaya? Abhi main kya karu iska? That's what, so if I struggle with the fact that if that ever gets, I mean, I haven't read it, so I may be again talking out of my ass. But if I read it and if I try to imagine it visually, how that would look into a movie, I simply cannot. It's just too layered, too deep. And I don't know if you have enough time in cinema to be able to make that connection either.
So an excellent example of badly made movie. From
you
a
don't
book,
like movies also, no?
From
Great.
a book
Anuya.
in this genre is one of my favorite books ever written, which is World War Z. Now, if I say zombie novel, you think hero saves the world, saves his family, blah blah, right? World War, and the movie is somewhat like that.
Exactly that.
They've got Brad Pitt, they've got his family, and all.
Yeah.
But the book in itself is based on this non-fiction book called World War II and Oral History. Okay, I don't remember the whole name. So World War Z is exactly like that, except made up. So what will happen if there is a zombie apocalypse? It's a collection of reports from all over the world about the zombie apocalypse. So there's no one central character. There's not enough time per chapter to even have a character. But there's a voice because it comes from like someone's perspective. And I swear to God, I never thought that book would make me cry, but I was weeping in the middle. There's a chapter about dogs. I was weeping. I don't even like dogs. Don't like dogs.
What is this human? What is she? Doesn't like dogs.
I'm crying.
Doesn't like Brad Pitt. What are you?
I like Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt has a nice butt.
Don't objectify.
Great, fantastic book. Completely unexpected. Breaks forms in so many levels. Reads like a report, but like a
collection of reports written by different people. Nice.
From all over the world. So even geographically it keeps moving, but chronologically also it's moving ahead. So you're sort of following the story, but it's so amazing and it's so real. It feels like if there was ever a zombie apocalypse, this is actually what will happen, and it's not it's a grim picture. Like,
there are no happy
There's
pictures.
no hope.
Yeah.
1 second. Which is the happy zombie apocalypse book?
Warm Bodies.
Oh, okay. There is one.
Yeah.
Right.
There
I
is
stand corrected. Yes.
So anyway, World War Z, great book, please read.
1 sec. On the subject of movies and on this whole, like you have to piece the story together yourself from like bits and pieces and notes and novels. There are 2 videos I want to recommend very highly, both by Adult Swim. Okay.
I love Adult Swim.
The first one is called Unedited Footage of a Bear. Okay.
Unedited footage of a bear.
Yeah, that's what it is. And it opens with just footage of a bear. And it's on YouTube, and the skip ad thing comes. Okay, because an ad starts with 3-4. And if you skip ad, if you click that, it just goes to the end, and it's just the whole video is footage of a bear. But if you don't skip it, it breaks into a commercial about this kind of medicine that you can take, and that medicine has a whole story. You can go to the website. Website actually exists.
Wow.
And then, so the story that they show in the ad is about a woman slowly losing touch with reality. Okay, and if you don't understand it, you can go to the website. And the website has Easter eggs which allow you into the house which you see in the video, and you can actually play a game and with yourself, with all the materials you have, piece together the story of what happened here.
Wow.
Okay.
So this is like a 360-degree experience. So maybe this is what this is, right? Like
Yeah, it's like you have to do so much investigation work. The ultimate next level version of that, again made by the same company, sold to Adult Swim, is a video called This House Has People in It. Okay. And it's a collection of security cam footage. And you watch it, and if you watch the whole video, it makes no sense. It's about how a girl gets stuck in the floor. Okay, and she goes through the floor, basically. Okay, and it makes no sense, and you're like, "Maine kya dekha hai abhi?"
Like a Murakami novel, basically.
Hey.
Not a first.
Now you don't like
Murakami.
Murakami.
I don't know what to do anymore.
Elephant Vanishes was very good. Short stories by Murakami. Kafka on the Shore, little
See?
up on his ass. No, little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
Please, Norwegian.
1Q84.
Norwegian.
Norwegian word.
Kitna मैंने
1Q84.
had to like, no, you have to finish this. You have to
Sputnik.
finish this.
Isn't it IQ84?
No, it's
It's 1Q84. Okay, I haven't read.
It's the parallel dimension version of 1984, but not
Okay.
actual 1984. Like not the book 1984. Okay.
We will say Murakami for another day. I'm too sad to react right now.
Yes.
How tough is this genre for someone who's a casual reader?
Are you asking me? Oh, cool.
Yeah, both of you. Like from whatever you've described so far, it's not the easiest thing to read, right? So
Yeah.
is this something that you'd recommend to someone who picks up a book, say like on holiday?
You know what? Absolutely. But it's a little bit, some books are a little bit of a challenge to get into initially. So you have to struggle through the initial part. But like the reward is so much that I feel like I would recommend it very highly to everybody. Everybody. What do you think, Sharin?
I don't know. I mean,
don't
I
know?
would recommend it a read for sure. And
Ah.
I think it could be one of those things which you get so into that you don't want to read a normal book again.
Yes, yeah.
But I don't know how it will be like a casual beach read or a casual flight read. I don't know,
maybe,
you know.
maybe
But
not.
I mean, because it's so detached, where you don't have to really
Yeah.
follow something. Maybe I think it might actually be simpler for casual readers. Where if you stop
think-
reading it in the middle, it's still a fulfilling experience.
Yeah. Maybe as a short story also
Depends,
it'll be
I guess.
awesome.
Depends.
Depends, I guess. Yeah. Short story wise, we were talking earlier about Haunted
Ah,
by Chuck Palahniuk, which I guess is part of the genre, not really. Which is the story is about a bunch of aspiring
Writers.
authors
Yeah.
who have a workshop where they lock themselves in a house, and each of them has to write their own story.
Yeah.
And so you get to read the overarching narrative of these people along with the short stories that they've written.
yeah.
And the one short story of note in Haunted is a story called Guts. Okay, and it's of note because I think when Chuck Palahniuk narrated Guts, worldwide I think more than 40 people have fainted just listening to the narration, and the story is insane. And the most fucked up part is based on a true story.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Yeah.
What
So-
happened to you when you read Guts?
I enjoyed it. I enjoy this gore and all this stuff.
But it's not really gory. It's just it takes a turn that you don't expect.
Yeah, it's gory, man. Yeah,
It's
gory
gory.
every sense of the word.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, Guts is to be
It's very graphic, so read it at your own risk.
basically one guy. He likes masturbating. It's his favorite thing, and he realizes that in his house there's a pool, and if he puts his bum near the suction valve, it feels really good. So what he trains himself to do is to hold his breath, go sink down to the bottom of the pool, put his bum next to the valve, and he masturbates there, and it's the best experience, and he does it a lot.
Oh,
One day he does it.
I don't think you should give it
Don't
away.
give spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't tell what happens. Just
and then
read it.
just let your imagination go wild.
Read it and
Let's just do
so
that.
fucked up.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
need guts to read guts.
So, if you were to recommend as a starter kit for people who want to read this kind of stuff, what would you recommend highly? What book would you recommend highly?
I mean, I can't promote this book enough, but If on a Winter's Night, a Traveler, for sure.
That is also a poem by Robert Frost, no? Sorry.
Is it?
No.
Maybe it is how most poets.
Is this a joke? A Robert Frost poem names? It's something about a forest.
No.
Have you read Two Tramps in Mud Time?
No.
Robert Frost poem. They forced us to read it in school.
Yeah.
No,
It's about two tramps in a mud time.
Daffodil.
That sounds like a sex poem.
How do you know it isn't? Robert Frost's only sex poem. Yeah, I want to fuck a tree once. I love forest with my dick.
Yuck.
How can you like forest that much? None of Robert Frost's friends ever sat him down like, Robert, I mean, we're enjoying the work, dude, but how about something not about a forest once? I know you like leaves and light breaking through the trees, but it's a little bit,
Too romantic.
a little erection in your chair.
Ew.
You're in a wheelchair.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
A lot of poets were poets because they couldn't do normal human things.
That makes a lot of sense because, you know what, I'm going to stop now.
Are you a poet? Have you guys ever written poetry?
I do. I'm a closet poet.
You're a closet poet? You've never been to a poetry slam?
I have, but closetly.
She went in
This
the
is a
back.
cupboard.
Hello, cupboard is here. Hello. My life is sad. Oh, cupboard,
And
my
then-
cupboard.
It opens a little bit and Sharin peeks out.
Nah.
Hey, I won a poetry slam. Once.
You won.
I won.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I imagine.
It's called
oh, okay.
1984. But my 1984. Never mind.
Sick, right?
So when
Yeah.
you were 15.
No. Moving on. I think Anuya did discover what this genre is called, right?
Yeah, it's called ergodic literature.
Oh, wow,
Ergodic, yeah.
Which means?
You have to wiki it. and
Google it.
Google it, guys.
Because we know what it means, but
We cannot explain.
we want you to find out.
We find out.
Well, you can tell me. I don't know what it means.
I don't know what it
I
means.
it's called ergodic literature. What we've been talking about
We
is
were
ergodic
researching
literature.
and we found something that said ergodic literature.
Is it a Latin word?
It is ergodic word.
Like ergo, dick.
Isn't it?
Ergo exclamation point DIC. And then you put sick in brackets.
Ergodic.
Sick.
So bad.
Okay. I think it sort of means what we've been talking about. Like the books that break form. So postmodern literature falls under
Yeah,
this. and-
yeah.
But Anuya, what is postmodern literature?
Stuff that's not casual.
Tell us about actresses you like.
I'm a big fan of this postmodern
Who
film.
who is the ideal girl according to you?
Someone that knows what postmodernism is. Preferably no bangs.
You don't want any bangs in your relationship.
Oh God, very strange. Never mind, maybe.
My
tell us.
preliminary limited understanding of postmodernism is that it says that there is no one truth.
Yeah.
That reality is not objective, it's subjective. Which is why an unreliable narrative fits into the genre. Because you're like, this guy is not reporting what exactly happened, this guy is reporting what he thinks happened. So the absolute truth is unknowable. It is only subjective. But the weird part about that is postmodernism says there is no one truth, except for that one truth which says that there is no one truth.
That's exactly what it meant, I think, in Wikipedia when we were looking at it
Oh.
yesterday. So
It's
thanks
too
for
early in
breaking
the
it down.
morning for this
For
conversation.
postmodernism, oh man, I like the smell of postmodern
In the morning.
In the morning, smells like whatever you think. There is no one
You're
true
not
smell.
getting Nirvana here.
There's no one true smell except for the. Yeah, it's good. So I think it's yeah. Go Sharin. Go.
So now we come to the more interesting part of this interview. It's called the clickbait section of the podcast, called the BoTCast.
Aha.
So if you guys don't know, besides being a comedian and a voracious reader, Kanan Gill also vehemently apologizes online.
Oh yeah.
It's called 100 Apologies, and please, we will put a link to the blog here.
Can
as
I
well.
promote my other blog
Yes,
as well?
please.
Yeah.
You have another
Yeah,
blog?
because you need us to promote your blog.
Yeah, clearly.
No, because
That's true.
I'm not finding the right audience, which is my issue.
Oh,
Eh?
okay.
No, I've been writing from that blog for a very long time. I really enjoy doing weird shit that breaks form, etc.
Form, yeah.
The last thing I wrote was a conversation with me and my editor about a novel that I'd written. Okay, so basically it's a parody of a travel novel, and how all Indian author traveling abroad novels are like, I'm so sad, oh my god, all this other country is a metaphor for my struggles in India. So I wrote a parody of that, but it's like I've presented the blog post as I've submitted this to my editor for notes, and my editor his comments are inline. So that's the story. But when I put it out there, like, and I was very proud of it. I was like, hey, I wrote this. The comments I got like, hey, your editor is right, bro. I'm like, the editor is me. I wrote it. I am every line in this book. People are like, no man, I like comedy. I was like, this is comedy.
There are more layers to this personality.
Basically, he's implying that the people watching this podcast are really, really smart. So thanks for that.
Intelligent
No,
people, please read blog.
It's not about smart or dumb. It's just like, well, it's a different thing you should be
Taste.
open to. Yeah.
What is the name of the blog?
Yeah.
It's kanangill.blogspot.com.
Okay.
From the
Links to both blogs will be in the description.
So we thought we'd get you to do something interesting.
Yes.
So taking off from your 100 apologies,
Huh.
are there 5 book-related apologies you would like to make?
Book related apologies.
Book related apologies.
Okay. I am sorry for rereading Harry Potter to an arrogant extent and winning all Harry Potter quizzes in my heyday. Additionally, I am sorry for getting over Harry Potter. Yeah,
Okay,
I said
it's
it.
okay. It's fine.
Someone had
he
to.
won all of the quizzes.
Yeah. Like, what color were the firecrackers that Fred and George launched in, like, Anna?
What color?
What color?
I don't remember now.
He
I
got
remember
over it, huh?
Back in the day. I am sorry for not reading Being in Nothingness by Sartre. I'm sorry for never finishing a philosophy book. I buy all because I was like, this will make me smart, and I read 3 pages and I'm like, nope, no chance. Have you ever tried reading Being in Nothingness?
No, not being in nothingness, but I've tried to read philosophy and it's been like, no, I'm too young. I'm still young. I'm still young. Not happening.
Yeah, I am sorry
I'm
for.
too dumb. I'm too dumb for philosophy.
I feel it's not dumb, dude. There are some books I feel like they're additionally making complicated to read. I'm like, you could have said this in an easier way. You're just being an asshole right now.
Also very indulgent.
It's very
That's the whole
self-indulgent.
point
Very
of philosophy,
self-indulgent.
right? It's supposed to be self-indulgent.
Yeah, it's
and
inward
it's
looking,
supposed to make you self-indulgent.
But all these cool people who can quote philosophy, you're like, oh, what a cool guy. And I was like, even I want to be a cool guy.
You
but
can just
like,
learn those quotes by heart.
Yeah.
Photo quotes, cool.
Water
Philosophy test.
everywhere. Not a drop to drink.
Amazing. Irony. Excellent.
Young Lochinvar. No?
ये सब fables है ये philosophy कहाँ से?
Young Lochinvar.
Oh really? I don't understand poetry, dude.
No, they forced us to learn it in school. I didn't want to read it. Charge of the Light Brigade. Sharon and I were talking about this.
Yeah.
Young Lochinvar.
Daffodils.
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 Yeah, I like poetry.
Wood, snowy evening.
Wood
that
is snowy.
thing.
Robert Frost, Ka Forest Pond. How much I want to have sex with
Stopping
Forest.
by the woods on a snowy evening.
Almost there. Well done.
What is the actual name then?
The moonlight illuminates my erection.
No, that's not happening. What is going on?
Welcome to the jungle.
Welcome to the Jungle by Robert Frost.
Sorry, Robert Frost. Would you like to apologize to Robert Frost?
No.
My
Oh yeah, I
honor
think
in
you
his
should
grave.
now. Okay, apology
You must
number
know.
4.
Sorry, Robert Frost.
Sorry, Robert Frost, for all this. Mainly, I would apologize to all the great authors that they forced us to read in school and we didn't appreciate what you guys had to say. I am super sorry that we sarcastically read the works of so many great authors.
Yeah.
Merchant of Venice 6th standard में पढ़ाएगा तो क्या होगा, dude? Like, come on. We
Business
can't.
में अच्छा बनेगा तू.
No, you just foster a hatred of Jews, I feel.
Anti-Semitic sentiment.
Anti-Semitism from Merchant of Venice, but if anything, schools should do is ease you into great literature. If you give me Solitary Reaper in 7th standard, I'm like, can we just
Yeah, that
have
was wrong,
to...
right? Solitary Reaper.
What is
You remember
Solitary
Solitary Reaper?
Yeah,
I have no
remember
idea what
Solitary
that is.
Another poem. Forgot who wrote it. You remember this poem by H.W. Longfellow? Yeah, and all of us were like, his name is Longfellow. Lols. So I shot an arrow
that's-
into the air.
Yeah.
It fell to earth, I knew not where.
You're asking
'Cause
for
he
too
was a
much
long
from little
fellow,
kids, I think. That's what's happening.
They force you to memorize the poems.
Yeah, on
and
top
you have
of everything.
no understanding of anything else to do with poems.
You know which poem I remember?
Which,
You Are Old Father William. I think it's Lewis
Recite,
Carroll.
recite.
It's a parody.
recite now.
I forgot everything except the name, but it's about this man making fun of an old guy and the old guy giving it back. It's a parody of some other poem. It's really nice. Anyway, moving on.
What poem do you remember from school?
Daffodils. Because I had to read it again in college, and I'm like, ये पढ़ा मैंने कभी, ये दोबारा क्यों हो गया मेरे साथ? Am I young again? What is happening? But yeah, one more.
One more. Last apology.
I would like to apologize for all the books I have not finished.
We would all like to.
Yeah.
Additionally, all the books I have bought and that will never be read.
Ooh, that.
Why
hurts,
would they
right?
never
Yeah.
be read?
Because
Yeah,
I
this
just buy more books and read those. There are some books I would know I look cool while reading. But do not really want to read.
When I go on holiday, I take one book
confessions.
makes me look cool, and one book that I secretly actually want to read,
Yeah.
which is like a trashy like chicklet. So I hide the chicklet in the.
So one of the biggest book mistakes I made is I read satanic verses on a plane, and I'm like, fuck, what the hell? So I had hidden the book in a bag, and I was reading the bag. I'm like, fuck, how do I turn the page?
Everybody else
What
is like,
to do? This is
Yeah.
not happening.
I wonder what she's
People are
hiding under her
looking
fringe.
like, oh, maybe a book. It's banned again. I don't know.
I'm going to write "Welcome to the Jungle" by Robert Frost.
Dude, I want to read Welcome to the Jungle by Robert Frost.
Welcome to the jungle! Wood nymphs everywhere!
You're not going to get through this.
Blood is flaking from the trees! Leaves are scattered on the ground! Wow! 2 roads diverged in the forest, and I took the one less traveled by.
Okay, we've come to the end of our BoTCast, and thank you, Kanan, for joining us
Thank
and
you, Sharin.
talking about books that break form. If you please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and also do in comments write your recommendations of what you would like us to talk about and any guests you would like to see on the show, and we would try to get them for you.
Also, we apologize for any ignorance we might have displayed. If you want to correct us, please do it nicely. We have feelings.
Guys, we can all talk out of our ass. Trump is president now.
Yeah, well, there it is.
If he
Fake
can
books.
do it,
Fake books.
we can do it.
Yeah.
I read Sweet Valley High. Sad. Bad book.
Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Okay. Thanks.
No.